Good morning, fellow traders. Bubba here. It's time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Thursday, August the 20th, 2020. I hope everybody had a great night last night. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, let's check and see where we got the markets here from yesterday. And SPX, green so far on the monthly chart, right? We got up to the upper monthly Bollinger Band, pulled back a little bit yesterday, and we're going to see what kind of follow through we get going into today. Weekly chart, upper shadow so far, kind of still a compressed range week. So the next two trading days should be a good indicator to see where this where this candle wants to take us. Daily chart, right? We had a red day yesterday. Of course, everybody's like, oh, all-time highs, right? The recession started. Look, we haven't broken down below the 80 MA yet, and we haven't broken down the upward trend line. Not saying it's not going to happen today, and things aren't going to start, moving a little bit faster than downside. We got a lot of open gaps below, right? We have this open gap here on the weekly chart. We got the 50-day moving average right here. So it is very, very possible that we start to break down right here, especially after the Fed minutes, basically, start to highlight, hey, we're at all-time highs, but, there's still like a lot of issues with the economy, right? So that's kind of the idea right there. But we'll see how it goes from that. Let's take a look at the SPY here this morning and see how it's behaving. So again, some increased volume yesterday. We are rallying up this morning right here. We're at the top of a fresh channel, so let's see how that holds going into today, right? We're not that far away from possibly pushing up and getting into where we left off at the close. So we'll see how that goes into the rest of the day today. Let's stay with the S&P futures and see how they're behaving here this morning. So you can see these are our signal zones that we provide to our members, right? And at the close yesterday, right, we had a nice impulsive move down, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we found support here at the signal zone right here. We came back up, we retested the top of the zone, and now we're kind of working on a channel up. So that impulsive move is done, right, because we've broken out of that trend line, right? So now we're either in a corrective phase right here. It is corrective from this, so it could be ABC. We might move back down to the bottom of the channel, and then we might see an impulsive move up. We'll see how it goes. If we can break out of the top of the channel in the signal zone, we might start to retest some of the scenes of the breakdown from yesterday. So we'll see how that goes going into today. The MES, again, same thing. So basically just working on its channel here too. So let's get a couple lines up here. And, really at this point, we kind of look at it like this, possibly as an ascending triangle too. And you can see we're trying to break out of here this morning. So we have job numbers this morning at 8:30 Eastern time. So we'll see how those affect the market going into the open. So that should be interesting too. So the Qs really don't seem to care about the yesterday's down move at this point right here. They've completely recovered the overnight loss, and let's see, they're basically looking, they're in the green territory right now, so let's see if they try to get aggressive on these to try to work their way to the upside. So let's take a look as well. Let's take a look at the IWM. Okay, IWM pretty choppy here this morning. Overall, we're just kind of waiting for it to make a move, right? It's trying to break out. It seems like it's trying to break out of this bull flag, but continues to fail to break to the downside, or continues to fail and break to the downside. And let's see where we go from there. So a couple names that could be affecting the semiconductors today, which could be helping the Qs going into today. We'll take a look at it in a minute right here. But before we do, let's take a look at Apple. So that's pushing back up nicely, right? It went from red to green already. So let's see how that goes into the open today if they try to squeeze it out, right? I have to imagine a lot of people got short yesterday. If anybody follows all the nonsense, all the stuff out there on FinTwit, right? Everybody was short last night, right? But there was too much stuff to keep us, just to kind of keep, to keep us in the safe territory on that. We had the 80 MA, we had the upper trend line, right? We had a big MOC on the sell yesterday, but so you have to imagine a lot of people got short yesterday. They could get stuck in this and squeeze out, right? And it's not just regular retail traders, right? Institutions are not, they're guilty of that stuff too. So they could get squeezed out too. So Apple actually looking pretty strong here this morning. So let's see if it gives a little bit of a push there. Nvidia had actually great earnings yesterday, and ended up kind of drifting down with the rest of the market. So let's see if that gives a strong reversal back to the upside if it holds the pre-market lows, and gives a push to the upside today. If it could, that give the semiconductors a boost today, and of course squeeze out any of the shorts on that one as well. Speaking of which, a little bit of a bigger cap name, but also semiconductor related, is Intel, right? They put a buyout policy out there, like $10 billion buying share buyback, and so that got a huge move up. And if you look at yesterday's candle, it was a pretty big red day, breaking out of a geometric line with increased volume. So definitely a potential signal for folks to get short. So gapping up above all these levels and recent pivots could see this thing squeeze even more, which could give the semis even more strength. So keep an eye on those today, those AMD, things like that. BJ's reporting this morning. It was up a little bit earlier today and back down here, but we haven't actually seen the numbers yet. Baba already reported this morning and actually had some pretty good numbers. They beat on revenue and earnings, and we're just kind of chopping around right here going today. So not a major gap on that one. And lastly, just Shake Shack. These had earnings recently, and they got an upgrade this morning. So we'll see how that goes today. Maybe that's enough to just kind of start to get things going again. It's been pretty boring here since earnings. So anyway, good stuff, guys. Hope everybody has a wonderful trading day today. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.